What's up, Noles fans? It's your boy Sports by Dustin, and today I'll be going over the preview of the NC State versus FSU game that takes place this coming Saturday, 8 o'clock in Raleigh, North Carolina. Home game for the Wolfpack. Unfortunately, we don't get this game at Doak, but he got a big game next week at Doak with Clemson. I'm going to be there personally. Can't wait for that. But before we get into the video, if you guys don't mind giving this video a like, subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already, and to my people that are subscribed already that watch all my sports betting and DFS content, if you guys don't like the FSU, I'm sorry. I'm posting FSU content because it's something near and dear to my heart. I'm a huge FSU fan. If you guys don't like them, just go ahead, skip these videos. You don't have to watch these ones. Just watch the sports betting ones. And if you're an FSU fan, you want to see some sports betting content or DFS content, go ahead, subscribe right now. Like I said, give this video a like. But let's go ahead and hop into the video. So NC State just came off a game against Clemson, which is really great. We got Wake coming off of Clemson. Unfortunately, that didn't go our way. But now we have NC State coming off Clemson. Very, very physical game. You'll hear me say that more than once because I rewatched this game, and NC State, that defensive line is physical, along with Clemson's defensive line. Clemson's got some secondary issues, some injuries back there. But who doesn't at this time of the season? Us Noles fans know we are injury-ridden right now. But let's go ahead and talk about the FSU offense. FSU offense against the NC State Wolfpack defense. I'm not quite sure we can block them up front, I'll be honest with you. Good news on Wednesday from Mike Norvell that said Robert Scott practicing. Maybe looks like a go. Maybe he didn't want to show his hand too much. Hopefully we get Robert Scott back. If we get him back, it's going to be a lot better off for us. Of course, they got Corey Durden on the defensive line, who is a stud, transferred from FSU, unfortunately. And they also have Cyrus Fagan, a defensive back that transferred from FSU, but I think he got injured in that Clemson game, and I'm not sure he's playing against FSU here. But I'm scared. I'm simply scared that we're not going to be able to block them. Unfortunately, with the holes in our offense, I think that they watched the Wake tape. The Wake got to us a little bit. With our injuries on the offensive line, it's kind of showing up a little bit here later towards the middle of the season. But I think where we can beat them is if we can get the ball quick, these tunnel screens that we've been running really good. Jordan Travis, I really think that we might have to run him more than we would like and more than we have been. Jordan Travis, that's what makes him so unique. Coming into this season, we thought Jordan Travis' legs was his premier talent. We see that he's got an arm now too, but he still has those legs. I know he's a little banged up, but look at the Wake game. I don't know how many times I was screaming. I was at the game screaming, "Keep it, Jordan, keep it. It's wide open. It's there. It's there." He might not be healthy enough to necessarily do that, but hopefully this game he is a little more healthy. He's not wearing the brace anymore at practice. That's really good to see. So maybe he keeps the ball a few more times and keeps him honest. It opens up some other things. I would like us to go ahead and keep our wide receivers going. I mean, Michael Pittman last game was insane. I loved watching him break out. We've basically had, in our couple games, we've basically had a different leading wide receiver almost every single game. Johnny Wilson, of course, a stud as well. Definitely a mixed match with basically any defense with his height at 6'7" and the way he moves like that for us. Running the ball, I don't know how we really couldn't get going against Wake Forest running the ball. Unfortunately, it all kind of leads back to the offensive line. But if we can get the ball running, that is the identity of Florida State. We're a heck of a passing team now with Jordan Travis taking that next leap. But we got to get the ball running, and whether that's some read options, Jordan keeping it, 30 yards downfield, something like that. We need those plays back. That was a big part of our offense last year. We shied away from it because of Jordan's step he took with his arm. But hopefully we see that a little bit more coming into this game because I think we're going to need it. They're going to get so much pressure up the middle. One thing I do want to see, FSU, Mike Norvell, please, I don't want to see us run the ball on first down, right? Get knocked back for a yard or no gain, and then run the ball up the middle again. I just don't want to see it, unfortunately. That did not help us. We were behind the sticks all the time versus Wake. We can't do that. We can't afford it against NC State. We definitely are going to need to be passing on second downs. Like I said, we got to get the ball quick, though, with this rush D. They got to Clemson as well. They got to DJ, who's also playing really good right now. So on the defensive side of things for FSU, I'm not as worried about the defense. Now, I know we kind of got gashed by the rushing attack from Wake when, unfortunately, we really should have been able to stop that run. But once again, on the line, the lines of scrimmage were injury ridden. Fabian Lovett out. People are starting to see, after watching that Wake tape, they're going to see the middle of that field is going to be, unfortunately, open most of the time, kind of like they've seen against Wake. And he's not going to be in for this game. Good news, Wednesday again, Jared Verse, he played like 17 snaps, made a huge impact when he was in against Wake. I think if he plays this game, that's going to be really, really big for the Florida State defense, especially when I watched that Clemson game. The Clemson, of course, got a good front, but they were able to get some pressure on him. And Devin Leary, he's not having as good as a season as he did last year. They're still 4-1. They're only lost to Clemson. But Devin Leary, he was hanging in there, took some shots to get some big third downs. Thayer Thomas, too, wide receiver for NC State, is the one to watch. Really, I'm not too worried about anybody else as far as that goes. Thayer Thomas was 9 for 84 against Clemson. He's not a deep ball guy. I think FSU is like the only team to not give up a play over, I think, 30 yards or something like that, which is pretty insane. So we're not giving up the big play. We're not making the big mistakes. Last game, we put ourselves in a position, to have the other team make mistakes. Didn't capitalize. But we're not making those big mistakes for long gains and such. They don't have a guy that's really going to do that to us either. Thayer Thomas is kind of that middle of the field, the safety net guy. Like the Julian Edelman, let's say, where he's coming across the middle, and on third downs they're going to go to him on a slant or a little out. We got to watch him. So I'm not sure, who's going to be our best matchup for him. But I think our defense secondary needs to step up a little bit as well. I think we're probably going to get back. Some help in the linebacker core, which is going to be big just for depth in general. But Tatum Bethune, hopefully he's getting a little healthier. He's been banged up. If he's a little bit healthier, I like our chances. Now to stop their running game, Clemson held their running game really well. They had 21 rushes. 21 carries between Sumo Kongbe and Houston and Leary. They gave up 34 yards on 21 carries. I don't think we're going to be able to do that, unfortunately, especially without Fabian Lovett up the middle for the defense. But I like our chances to stop the pass game and to limit the big plays. If we can limit the big plays and control, the first, we got to get off the field on third down. Last game against Wake Forest, that was the worst thing I could sit there and watch when I was watching that game. Couldn't get off the ball, couldn't get off the field on third down. I was so upset every single time, giving up. It's 3rd and 4. We're giving up these easy 4 or 5 down plays in the pass game, and then when they wanted to, they could run it down our throats. So we got to figure it out up the middle. I think that's going to be the key to the game, stopping their run game, because those running backs aren't too bad. Clemson's defense is just really good as well. We got to stop the run game, and I think our secondary is good enough to compete with their wide receivers. Thayer's going to get his catches. It's not like he's getting deep balls and stuff like that. They're going to find a way to get him the ball. But I feel like I'm rambling on about the defense a little bit. I'm going to move on to my prediction for the game. Who's going to win? Of course, I'm a fan. I want FSU to win, but are they going to win? I'm not sure. Especially after my rewatch of their last game versus Clemson, I'm not sure we're physical enough to compete with NC State. The way that they held their own, I know it was 20-30 against Clemson, but that's a good defense on the other side. But the way that they were on the defensive side on the line against our offensive line, I think is really going to dictate it. Hopefully Robert Scott's back. Maybe that helps us out a little bit more. They were getting to the passer as well off the edge. But I did notice we can get, with Jared Verse, we can get to Leary off the edge. I noticed that with their offensive line. Obviously Clemson's great, but I noticed we can get off the edge against their offensive line, if I had to say so myself. Still don't think Jared Verse is going to be enough coming back full time in this game. If he does, to limit the whole defense, or to limit their offense. I think that it's going to be a slugfest for what it is, but I think NC State comes out on top. I'm going to have to say 31 24. FSU is going to lose to NC State. That's going to be my prediction for this week. I am hoping I am wrong. I am hoping it is 41-21 FSU, of course. But at the end of the day, we are in a really tough stretch of the schedule, so we'll see how it pans out. But to get through this, if we can go 1-2 against these teams, I would really be happy with that. If we could find a way somehow to beat NC State in Raleigh and then go ahead and beat Clemson at home, that would be amazing. Tough feat ahead, but we'll see what's in store for the Noles. That's it for my first video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. FSU fans, I love you guys. I love the Noles. Let's go Noles. Beat NC State. Everyone have a great one and have fun watching on Saturday.